correct me if I'm wrong. The main project that you're concentrating on right now is Band Builder Academy, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Do you want to just talk a bit more about it? Like, how did this idea come to your mind? The whole process of improving it and developing it and all of that.
Yeah, I was looking for things other than the record label business that I could do. I knew I wanted to stay in music. Music is my passion. But I was like, what else in music would I like to do? And one of my favorite things to do at the record label was when we had new signings, new artists come into the label. I loved getting to know them. I love helping them work through any challenges they have with their business, like the nuts and bolts of running a business and a band, growing their fan base, sort of best practices, trying to come up with a marketing plan and a strategy for growth. I loved all that stuff. And typically when the artists came in, they were pretty green. They obviously did something right to get there. They built their own fan base and had some success. But I love sort of mentoring them, but I didn't have enough time to do it because I managed, the major accounts, I managed the staff, worked with the distributor, all these different things. So I didn't have a lot of time to mentor. And I really liked that. So I thought, I want to do education. But I had no education skills, no teaching skills. I didn't know musicians. I wanted to specifically educate musicians. I didn't really think at the time of educating artist managers and educating other record labels, but that's something I've since started doing. It was mostly focused on the musicians. And I wanted to give them sort of like an academy or a course or a playbook for when the new artist came into the label and we sign them, we could just give them this course or this academy, this playbook. And hey, just watch all these videos. There's like 80, 100 hours worth of video content in there on all sorts of courses from marketing, promotion, social media, streaming and Spotify, advertising, how to like do your publishing and, self-release your music or do the royalties or sync or all these other types parts of the business you can learn inside a Band Builder Academy. And it teaches you how to build a fan base, but also how to run a good business and make money. So that was the idea, but I didn't know a lot of musicians. So I had to go out there and introduce myself to musicians. So I started giving away free blog content on Heat on the Street. I still do a little bit of that, but it's mostly now on the Band Builder Academy blog. So it's like bandbuilderacademy.com/blog. I have a YouTube channel where I put out some free content and musicians sort of get to know me that way. They say, oh, this is pretty helpful advice. And so then they find out about Band Builder Academy. And, it's a subscription service. It's about $30 a month right now. You can get access to all of the content inside, all of the training. There's lots of exclusive tools in there, like analytics tools. And I even built a tool. It's called the Spotify algorithm tool. And it helps artists plug in their song or their artist name or any artist's song. And they can look at sort of the internal chart position in the Spotify algorithm. And you can notice where you're at and where you want to go. And it helps you target all the different playlists and media and anywhere you're sort of the artist that you want to tour with or you want to aspire to be. You can sort of see the roadmap of how to get where those other artists are. So we've got that tool. We've got a community in there. Every member who signs up gets a free coaching call with me. So there's lots of value to it. And for $30 a month, it's pretty, right away you get lots of value. So I've been doing that for 2.5 years and I love it. I love dealing with all the artists. Coaching, I do hourly coaching on top of that. And then we've since launched services. So the big thing that we're having success with right now is we can do YouTube ad campaigns and we're doing funnels. So instead of you doing an advertisement for your music video on YouTube and then going away and coming back 2 months later when your next music video comes out, that audience has sort of gone cold after 2 months. So we hit them with a funnel where they watch one video and then 10 minutes later or 10 hours later, they see a second video. And then 10 minutes later or 10 hours later, they'll see a third video. And, we keep remarketing to them. And that's called a marketing funnel or advertising funnel. And we've had a lot of success with that. It's probably our best thing that we have going. So those are just some of the things that we do unique in Band Builder. But I think I'm one of the few in it that has, executive label background, Absolutely. Major label, indie label, and sort of like a no nonsense, no snake oil, no tricks, no get rich quick schemes.
Yeah.
No get on a million playlists for free or guaranteed Spotify, viral success. It's none of that bullshit. It's like the real music marketing professional advice from a label guy.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I was just going to say that, obviously right now it's such an, overused scheme to see someone, claiming to provide you with the secret behind the music business and how they will get you on this playlist and how in 2 months will be the next big thing. And in the end of the day, it's scam. I guess there's no better word to explain it. And I think what you offer is certainly something that many people literally need in order to move to the next stage. So hopefully more people would acknowledge it and use the resources that you have, because I can say from my perspective, it's just something amazing. It's amazing.
I appreciate it, Christo, and I appreciate you having me on and letting me talk to this. Hopefully people have stuck around. But it's interesting because with musicians, I wasn't like this. If I found a course like this when I was 17, 18, I would have signed up in a heartbeat. But I get the feeling that a lot of people don't want education. They just want promotion, the services. Yes. That's why, like the YouTube thing that we're doing, musicians are like, I'll do that all day long.
Yeah.
But education is hard. It's not fun. It's time consuming, but it's really necessary. Like you really have to learn how to build a strong foundation. And it's only $30 to do that. Like you could spend $30 on a Facebook campaign, or, you could spend easily $300 on some sort of playlist promotion or to buy onto a playlist, or you could spend $1,000 to $2,000 or $3,000 on a PR campaign and have somebody do an email blast. But it's like, I'm offering sort of a playbook and a workflow that's easy to follow for musicians for $30 a month. It's like, it's just invest in your education and knowledge. I mean, I think that's why people listen to podcasts and it's just to get that knowledge, so people do value education, but I offer it in a roadmap, chronological, step-by-step process that I think is really helpful. Not to mention, I'll get on the phone with you and I'll talk to you and I'll get to know you.
Yeah.
I'll help you, fix all of the things that you're doing wrong, because I can see all of those things very easily after, seeing it daily for 30 years.
Yeah. And, many artists in the, in the scene and in the whole industry should understand that it's very valuable to have the ability to speak with experienced people such as yourself, with people with, knowledge and expertise, because I don't know, as you've said, I've personally, came to the conclusion that many of the artists are not really inclined to educate themselves, and they're so impatient and trying to find the thing to give them the results that they want right away, which is, very counterproductive, because as you said, in the end of the day, you have to spend time on understanding how the different processes work and why one thing works in the way that it does before just moving to a certain solution. I don't know if if you observe the same thing, but I think this is actually quite a big problem across the music industry at the moment. It's just people just want everything right now. They want the results to occur, immediately, and not really invested in the process of understanding how it works and just doing the things the right way.
I do see some of that, but I think a lot of times those are the people that have been in it for 2 weeks, 2 months, maybe a year. And they just really haven't like figured out how complex it is to be a TikToker, or what a big business it is to be a vlogger on YouTube, or what a big business it is to be a band. Like it's not simple. It's not quick. Most artists take 5 to 7 years to develop or get their first break. There's very, very few instant success stories. And behind every one of them, there's somebody who tried and failed for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years every time. Oh, this person blew up on TikTok. No, they didn't. There was a process they went through to learn the skills, video editing, how to come up with an attractive headline, how to come up with an attractive thumbnail, like all these skills that you need to work the algorithms. Like these are not like, they make it look easy, but there's a lot of things that those people learned. It's not, there's some luck in it. But there's a lot of thinking and there's a lot of work that goes into what people, to successes that people don't see.
Yeah. I always tell a story when this sort of a topic comes up. And, a couple of years ago, I met with Johnny from Nothing More. And we were just talking, how the whole band had to deal with the situation where, they just blew up at some point, and journalists or people from the industry would go to them and be like, wait, hey, how did you do that? And how did you manage in a year to become a multi-platinum selling band and to be nominated for 3 Grammys and stuff like that? And he was explaining how, it took them 15 years to become an overnight success, which is such a, valid statement, I guess, because he was saying how for 15 years they had to play in front of 20 people and to, structure their processes so they can put themselves in the position to generate the results that they ultimately generated. And I worked with Portugal The Man. We put out their first record in 2005, I think it was, on Fearless. 2005, I'd say they sort of broke like maybe 2018, 2019. I mean, that's like, it's like 12, 13 years, before they really broke it big, And I mean, they're rightfully, there's been a few weeks where they're top of the music world, like where they've had some number ones, top of the world, like Plain White Tees. 2006, 2007 is when that Hey There Delilah song broke. I think they put out their first record in 1999, 1998. So it's like 7-8 years, all those bands were doing it a long time before they broke. Yeah.